to our comfortable seated posture, and you can have both feet flat on the floor, about a hip's width apart, and align your shoulders with the hips and your ears with your shoulders. And imagine your spine is this beautiful string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. So just lengthen your spine. Take a nice deep breath and then go to the crown of the head and just relax any tension there. Relax your scalp and your forehead, eyes, your nose, your cheeks, the area around the mouth, the jaw, the ears, the back of the head. And if you can imagine releasing your neck and allowing your shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down. And then relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. And then just notice the sensation of the breath as you inhale and exhale. And be aware of any distractions in your environment, just allowing them to be there, trying not to follow with the mind. So you may have distractions outside your home, inside your home. And then just be aware of what's going on in your mind this evening. Notice as you're sitting here meditating, noticing the thoughts just bubbling up, arising and abiding. And then really the trick is to not follow those thoughts. Not to follow the stories. Or, half the time the story that we have in our head isn't particularly correct. So it's always good to question that. And then, bring to mind all the people of our life, our loved ones, our strangers, the ones we don't like terribly much. And due to impermanence, these relationships can change. They're interchangeable. And these people that, no matter how you think about each one of them, they're all equal. They want to be happy and they want to be free from suffering. I think we'll do this meditation this evening for all these people of our life, and by extension, all the sentient beings. And so I was just chatting with Nina, excuse me, and she was saying to include Charaklama in dedications and motivations because, anyway, so they're trying, with lawyers to get Charaklama out to the United States as the resident teacher. So making strong prayers that all his visa application, etc., is successful. So he can come out and teach you all in person. That's very exciting. So then we think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. And we create negativity with our mind, so equally we can change it and create positivity instead. So we start with the first of the four opponent powers, which is regret. So we sincerely regret from the depths of our heart anything we've done to harm any living being on this day, on this life, and in all of our past lives. And we can think of specific actions of both our body and our speech, and then in general, just regret all. And the reason we regret is based on this logic of karma, and we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we will experience. And we know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So we think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, well, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? And then we come to the power of reliance. So we rely upon, we turn to Buddha Vajrasattva, who we see as a doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we're needing Buddha to forgive us, we're purifying ourselves by relying upon his medicine. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has a beautiful, radiant face, and his eyes are long and shaped like lotus petals, and they're very peaceful. And they're full of love and compassion for you, and also equally all sentient beings, even those ones you don't like very much. So his arms are crossed at his heart. The left is always closest to the heart, underneath the right, and it's holding a bell, and this represents wisdom. And the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two. And this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. And then we have this little section on compassion, developing compassion. So here we're also, it's a subheading under reliance, because we need to rely on other beings if we wanted to develop compassion. So compassion is really a wish for sentient beings to be free from suffering, the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by and by thinking very compassionately about them. So then also think about people who've harmed you and have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to result a suffering for them sometime in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. And then we come to this power of remedy, and this is the medicine doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra again. Om Vajrasattva Samayam. And oh, I'm sorry. I have to be quiet now.
Oh,
I'm muting. Who's my first person? It was
Vajrasattva
Coral, right?
Tira me bawa,
Oh, that's
Sudhakar me
Elizabeth.
bawa, Spokayu me bawa,
No.
Amrita me bawa, Savasir me prayatsa Savakama Sutame, Titam Shiram Kuru Hum, ha 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 ho, Bhagavan, Savatata Gata Vajama Memunta Vajabhavama, Samaya Sattva Ahompe, Om Vajrasattva Samaya, Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Denopatita, Tira me bawa, Sudhakayu me bawa, Spokayu me bawa, Anorekto me bawa sarva sidi me prayasa savaka motsutame. Titam shiram kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Savatata gata vajama memanta vajabhavama samaya sattva ahom pe. Om vajasafa samaya manupalaya vajasafa denopatita. Dilo me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, spokayo me bawa, anorekto me bawa, sarvasidi me prayatsa savaka mutsutame, titam shiam kuru hum, ha 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 ho, Bhagawan, savatata gata vajama mema tavaja bhavama, samaya sata aham pe. Om Vajasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajasafa Tena Patita Dilo Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anorekta Mebawa Sarvasidi Me Prayata Savakama Sutame Titam Shiam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Savatata Gata Vajama Memata Vajabhavama Samaya Safa Aham Pe Om Vajasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajasafa Tena Patita Dilo Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anorekto me bawa sarvasidi me prayatsa savakam vasutame. Titam shiam kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagawan. Savatata gata vajama memanta vajabhavama samaya safa ahom pe. Om vajasafa samaya manupalaya vajasafa denopatita. Tilo me bawa sutokayo me bawa supokayo me bawa. Anorekto me bawa sarvasidi me prayatsa savakam vasutame. Titam shiam kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagawan. Savatata gata vajama memanta vajabhavama samaya sata ahom pe. Om vajasafa samaya manupalaya vajasafa denopatita. Dilo me bawa sutokayo me bawa supokayo me bawa. Anorekto me bawa sarvasidi me prayata savakama sutame. Titam shiam kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagawan. Savatata gata vajama memanta vajabhavama samaya sata ahom pe.
Okay, thank you. So where were we? You were here. So be delighted any harm you've done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything except benefit others with your body. And next is the purification of our speech. And Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body. Except this time forces up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about people behind their backs and getting other people to agree with you. All our inappropriate speech and our lack of wisdom. All of this is purified by this, powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra again. So I'll mute myself now. Don't forget to let me unmute, Shayla. Who was next? Was it Christine? Yeah, okay.
Om Vajrasattva Samaya Malapalaya Vajrasattva Dena Patita Dino Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sarasiti Mepayasa Sarakama Sisame Sisam Chiram Kuruhu Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Saratata Gata Vajramame Vuta Vajrapaha Mahasamaya Sava Ahum Te Om Vajrasattva Samaya Malapalaya Vajrasattva Dena Patita Dino Mebawa, Sutukaya Mebawa, Supukaya Mebawa, Anurakta Mebawa, Sarasiti Mepayata Sarakama Sitame, Sisam Chiram Kurahu, Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Saratata Gata Vajramame Muta Vajrabaha Mahasamaya Sava Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Malapalaya, Vajrasattva Dena Patita, Dino Mebawa, Sutukaya Mebawa, Supukaya Mebawa, Anurakta Mebawa, Sarasiti Mepayasa Sarakama Sutame Sisam Shiram Kurahu Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Saratata Gata Vajramame Muta Vajrabaha Mahasamaya Sava Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Malapalaya Vajrasattva Deno Tatita Deno Memowa Sutokaya Mevawa, Supokaya Mevawa, Anurakta Mevawa, Sarasini Mepayata, Sarakama Sutame, Sisam Shiram Kuruhum, Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Saratatakata Vajramami Muta Vajrabaha Mahasamayatava Ahum Pe, Om Vajrasatava Samaya Malapalaya, Vajrasattva Dena Patita, Dina Mevawa, Sutokaya Mevawa, Supokaya Mevawa, Anurakta Mevawa, Sarasini Mepayata, Sarakama Sutame, Sisam Shiram Kuruhum, Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Saratatakata Vajramami Muta Vajrabaha Mahasamayasava Ahum Pe, Om Vajrasattva Samaya Malapalaya, Vajrasattva Dena Patita, Dina Mevawa, Sutokaya Mevawa, Supokaya Mevawa, Anurakta Mevawa, Sarasiti Mepayata Sarakama Sutame, Sisam Shiram Kuruhum, Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Saratatakata Vajramami Muta Vajrabaha Mahasamayasava Ahum Pe, Om Vajrasattva Samaya Malapalaya, Vajrasattva Dena Patita, Dina Mevawa, Sutokaya Mevawa, Supokaya Mevawa, Anurakta Mevawa, Sarasiti Mepayata Sarakama Sutame, Sisam Shiram Kuruhu, Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Saratatakata Vajramami Muta Vajrabaha Mahasamayasava Ahum Pe.
Okay. Okay. So now feel so happy that your speech is completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. And next is our mind. So imagine Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra. And this, again, it just kind of zooms around and hits your heart chakra. And as soon as it hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, just like switching on a light in a dark room, instantly dispelled. All your unhappiness and depression and anxiety and bitterness and grudges and jealousy and disappointment, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left, as Coral recites the mantra out loud for everyone. So Shaylee have to let her.
Okay, here we go. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupaya Vajrasattva Tenobadita Dido Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sarvasiti Me Prayata Sarva Karma Sutta Me Siddham Shayam Kuruham Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Mucha Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Santo Ahong Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupaya Vajrasattva Tenobadita Dido mebawa, sutokaya mebawa, supokaya mebawa, anarakto mebawa, sarvasiti me priyacha sarva karma sutta me, siddham shayam kuruham, ha 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 ho, bhagavan, sarva tathagata vajramame mucha vajrabawa maha samaya santo ahong pe, om vajrasattva samaya manupaya, vajrasattva tenopatita, dido mebawa, sutokaya mebawa, supokaya mebawa, Anarakta me bhava sarvasiti me priyacha sarva karma sutta me siddham shayam karuham ha 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 ho bhagavan sarva tathagata vajramame mucha vajrabawa maha samaya santo ahong pe om vajrasattva samaya manupaya vajrasattva tenopatita dido me bhava sutokaya me bhava supokaya me bhava anarakta me bhava sarvasiti me priyacha sarva karma sutta me Siddham Shayam Kuruham, ha 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 ho, Bhagavan, Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Mocha Vajrabawa, Maha Samaya Santo Ahom Pe, Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupaya, Vajrasattva Tenopatita, Dido me bawa, Sitokaya me bawa, Supokaya me bawa, Anarakto me bawa, Sarvasiti me Priyacha Sarva Karma Sutta me, Siddham Shayam Kuruham, ha 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 ho, Bhagavan, Sarva Tathagata Vajamame Mocha Vajabawa, Maha Samaya Santo Ahom Pe, Om Vajasafa Samaya Manupaya, Vajasafa Tenopadita, Dido me bawa, Sitokaya me bawa, Supokaya me bawa, Anarakto me bawa, Sarvasiti me Priyacha Sarva Karma Sutta me, Siddham Shayam Kuruham, ha 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 ho, Bhagavan, Sarva Tathagata Vajamame Mocha Vajabawa, Maha Samaya Santo Ahom Pe, Om Vajasafa Samaya Manupaya, Vajasafa Tenopadita, Dido me bawa, Sitokaya me bawa, Supokaya me bawa, Anarakto me bawa, Sarvasiti me Priyacha Sarva Karma Sutta me, Siddham Shayam Kuruham, ha 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 ho, Bhagavan, Sarva Tathagata Vajamame Mucha, Vajabawa Maha Samaya Santo Ahung Pe.
Be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause for why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And think now there's no space in your heart. Oh, wait, sorry. We did this one. Just feel your whole body, speech, and mind has been completely. Oh, wait, no, sorry, I was there. I beg your pardon. I got a little bit distracted by not being able to speak. So your delusions, these are the source of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech. And of course, why we harm ourselves with our own mind and our body and our speech as well, I guess. So now you think that all of this is completely gone. All of these delusions are gone, and there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And you imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, and the nectar pours down and pushes out all the negativity of the body. And the nectar flows out, pushing up all the negativity of your speech. And then the light comes and blasts all the delusions. And this is happening simultaneously as you recite the mantra. So, Charlotte, can you please unmute Alexis and so she can chant the mantra? Thank you.
Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dido me bawa Sutokaya me bawa Supokaya me bawa Anarakta me bawa Sarasiti me Prayatsa Sarakama Sutta me Sitam Shriyam Kurum Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sarvatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajraba Mahasamaya Sava Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dido me bawa, Sutokaya me bawa, Supokaya me bawa, Anarakta me bawa, Sarasiti me Prayatsa Sarakama Sutta me, Sitam Shriyam Kuram Hum, Ha 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 Ho, Bhagawan, Sarvatata Gata Vajamame Munsa Vajaba, Mahasamaya Sava Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dido me bawa, Sutokaya me bawa, Supokaya me bawa, Anarakta me bawa, Sarasiti me Anurakta me bawa, Sarasiti me Piratsa Sarakama Sutta me Sitam Shriyam Kuram Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sarvatata Gata Vajamame Munsa Vajaba Mahasamaya Sava Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dido me bawa, Sutokaya me bawa, Supokaya me bawa, Anarakta me bawa, Sarasiti me Prayatsa Sarakama Sutta me, Sitam Shriyam Kurum Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sarvatata Gata Vajamame Munsa Vajaba Mahasamaya Sava Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dido me bawa, Sutokaya me bawa, Supokayo me bawa, Anorakto me bawa, Sawasidi me Prayata Sawakama Sutame, Sitam Shriyam Kodam Hum, ha 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 ho, Bhagawan, Sarvatata Gata Vajamame Munsa Vajaba, Mahasamaya Sava Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinopatita Dido me bawa, Sutokayo me bawa, Supokayo me bawa, Anorakta me bawa, Sawasidi me Prayata Sawakama Tutsame, Sitam Shriyam Kodam Hum, ha 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 ho, Bhagawan, Sarvatata Gata Vajabame Mutsa Vajaba, Mahasamaya Sava Ahum Pe. Am I missing one? Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dido me bawa, Sutokaya me bawa, Supokayo me bawa, Anorakta me bawa, Sawasidi me Prayata Sawakama Tutsame, Sitam Shriyam Kodam Hum, ha 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 ho, Bhagawan, Sarvatata Gata Vajamame Mutsa Vajaba, Mahasamaya Sava Ahum Pe.
Okay, well done, Shayla. Okay, you can mute Alexis now. There you go. So think that you are completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve. And this is the fourth and final step in the purification process. And it's really crucial. This is this determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. And without this, we keep doing the same old things over and over again. So this determination, this aspiration to refrain from harming, is like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in new directions. Excuse me. So rejoice in the efforts that you've made to come along tonight, particularly in everybody's effort to recite the mantra. And then think of something you'd like to work on between now and tomorrow. Excuse me again. Sorry, cough's still there. So imagine Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind, melts into light. I think someone's going to have to finish this for me.
He's delighted. And it's just as Lama Yeshe says, union oneness. Thank you. Next, Lama Zopa recommends meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. In emptiness, there is no I, creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma creative. Place your mind in that emptiness for a little while. They do not exist from their own side. Now look at all phenomena as empty. And finally, let's dedicate all of the merit, the positive energy we have created by doing this purification to all living beings. Thinking, may all the virtuous karma I have created from doing this ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible.
Thanks, Shayla. Okay, let's do I'll stop sharing this, then you can share the chanting the names of Manjushri. the great attachment of all living beings, attachment free, comparable to space. When springing up in every every creature's mind, he is for every being as swift as mind. Aware of all the aptitudes of beings while captivating every creature's mind, with insight into aggregated natures, himself of fully pure five aggregates. Atop the peak of every going forth, most skilled in going forth in every way, established on all paths of going forth, the teacher of all forms of going forth. Okay, everybody. So sorry for the coughing. So let's have a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long, for the swift return of our precious Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and for all your own individual teachers, and for anyone who's going through any health issues. Lou, I'm always thinking about you. And I know, Mary doesn't have health issues, but she is looking after her mum, and I think it's particularly challenging to look after an older person. So it's quite difficult. So anyway, just think of her, and then try and make this idea that Charac Lama's passage to the United States is obstacle-free. Okay. And I think we'll do this again on Monday. I'm really enjoying hearing your voices. So Sasha will be one person, and maybe someone who hasn't done it before can also do it. All right. Lots of love, everyone. Think about whether you want to do this on Monday, and I will see you then. Okay, thanks.